Good morning, everybody. This is Jackie from the Oracle Times, and this is going to be the Virgo 2020 for August reading. So, August 2020 reading. Let's do that the right way around. Okay, so I'm going to repeat as I always do. I record from the bushveld in South Africa, so I'm surrounded by wildlife. It's brilliant, but I might disappear for a second or two. I've had a very good run lately. I've not been disappearing at all. Right, for those of you who are my faithful followers, I will tell you, as you may know, that I've been making those beautiful little soft cloth designer dolls. And I've actually created a course to teach other people how to make them. So if you'd like to do that course, I'm going to put the link in the description box below. And also if you'd like a personal or private reading, I do an amazing soulmate reading. That link will be in the description box below as well. You just click the little arrow and it down below and it will bring up those links for you. That's once this video is processed. Right, so Virgo, let's get into your reading, shall we? Oracle cards, tarot cards, and of course relationship reading for those of you that want to hear about relationships. So let's see what August 2020 has got in store for Virgo. Your first card up, Virgo, milk and honey. Isn't that nice? So you will in August find a place where you feel nurtured, where you feel comfortable, where you feel protected, okay, all those nice words. Something within August brings you that feeling. It could be your entire life if you are lucky enough. It could be an area of your life that brings you this. So some area of your life, for most of you it will be an area of your life that brings a feeling of comfort, a feeling of security, a feeling of warmth. You know, that place you go and snuggle down in and feel really happy in. If you look at this card, it's a little elephant having a lovely oatmeal bath. There's a rainbow, and a rainbow is always a promise of a better tomorrow. So it's milk and honey, the card is called. So it's all the brilliant things. So something in your life in August, Virgo, brings that kind of feeling for you, which is really nice news. We could all do with that kind of feeling at the moment, right? Okay, let's see what else Virgo has in store for them in August. Next card up is Chaos and Conflict. Now that's interesting because these are two completely different cards, okay? So what it is saying is you might need to firstly, this is ultimately going to be what you're going to have. That's like your theme for August. But first, you will have gone through a bit of chaos and conflict. Now I'll always say with this card, have a look carefully. It is a zebra, but she's wearing a giraffe coat. She is in something that is not her. It is not inherent to her. She doesn't feel comfortable in it. She's pretending to be something she isn't to try and fit in. The chaos and the conflict comes along and it strips her of all those things that are not authentically her. Okay, or him. I'm just using her as an example. So you may find that you've been going through this already and August has some more of it, okay? It needs to be finished off, but the reason for it, the reason for the chaos and the conflict, the reason for things feeling uncomfortable before they get to that lovely, secure, comfortable feeling is things which are not you, things which are not authentically you, things you are doing and having to do and forming part of that are not authentically you, that make you feel like you're not at home, are being stripped from your life by the conflict and the chaos. So that ultimately you can have that milk and honey feeling, that feeling of being at home, that feeling of life being comfortable and you belong in it, okay? I get that sense that some of you are doing or in situations where you don't feel a sense of belonging. And what is going to happen is life going to knock it out for you. It's going to take it away from you. It's going to make you, or it's going to bring so much resistance in for you that you are going to break free of it and you're going to choose something where you feel more comfortable, okay? Time to go. Look at that. Not surprising this comes up next. So ultimately, something gets left behind because it's not you. It's not comfortable. You are a zebra pretending to be a giraffe. It's highly uncomfortable. I should imagine that is the most uncomfortable thing to do. So you're going to make that decision because ultimately what has been happening is you have felt resistance on every single front in that particular issue. Like I said, it could be your entire life or particular area of your life. But it's just been one conflict or resistance after another. And ultimately in August you say, that's it, I've had enough, it doesn't suit me, it's not good enough for me, I'm going. Or I'm changing it, I'm leaving it behind, whatever the case may be. Let's take another card for you. Oh, nice. Message in a bottle. I love this card. Okay, so what this card is all about is, I think maybe in that time of making that decision, right, this is it. I'm not doing this anymore. It's not me. I don't fit in here, I'm not comfortable, I'm not happy, I don't feel at home. This time this got left behind. Along comes a message. It could be a phone call. There's a phone in that bottle, you see, message in the bottle. It could very well be a phone call. Because of this, I feel strongly it's going to be a phone call. But for some of you, it can be a text message, it can be an email, it's some form of communication that comes in for you. Generally, look at this card. It is stars and beautiful turquoise oceans, and it comes floating along just at the right time to give you the message to say, here's your new option. Here's a door I'm opening for you. Here's a new possibility for you. Here's potential for you to actually find where you will feel comfortable and you will feel at home and you will feel nurtured. But I think what needs to happen first is these two things. You're going to be knocked about a bit. You have been knocked about a bit, quite a bit. The Virgos that I do know have been knocked a bit, quite a bit. Okay? And then you're going to make that decision. Right, this is it. I've had enough. It doesn't suit me. It's not me. I need something else. And then along comes that special something. That phone call or that message or that email or something like that. It's a communication that comes to you. So this is generally not somebody you meet or something like that. It's some kind of communication that comes your way that opens a lovely, lovely new door for you, a lovely opportunity for you. That is really nice news. Right, so let's just get a tarot card or two for you, and let's see what... The tarot is generally the ultimate theme, although I would say your theme for the month is finding that place where you feel warm and nurtured, or realizing that you need to find it. Cards are jumping. Okay, so you get... yes, this card has been coming up for everybody. Look how he is researching. 3 of air, I think, yeah? He's doing research. He's looking deeply for something that can make him see the light, metaphorically speaking, makes him feel warm, makes him feel comfortable, makes him feel as if life is lighter. There is the skull in there, which means there's change coming. Something is finished, it's done with, it's over. There's the owl in there, which is all about wisdom. Look closely, you'll see a gorgeous owl. The dragon is always about the metamorphosis, about sort of facing up to things that need to be faced up to, that perhaps we've just let ride and slide because we didn't see a way out. But the dragon is always that fire, that determination, and it can just blast things straight out of your life because it's time you did something else. But the dragon's helping him here. Look, it's helping him do research. So you are going to be finding something new and very different, possibly because you've been looking for it, because life has been chaotic, and it has been pushing your buttons big time, and you've discovered it's time to move on. So now you start looking, and because of that, something comes your way. Sometimes when we're looking, when we're searching, it comes towards us. In fact, most times it happens like that. But this is some kind of communication that comes your way because possibly you have been searching. You might even been doing soul searching. But I feel more like you've been searching for options. You've been searching new options. You've been looking for new ways, new themes, new things in your life that you can pursue. And if this card comes up with that, I'm saying in all likelihood, it's coming your way because you've been looking for it, okay? Right, guys, so let's move on to relationship. Now, I'm going to read for those of you that are in established relationships as well as those of you looking for relationships, but this covers relationships in general. It's the energies that are around. I always read what it says on these cards because otherwise I get asked, what did it say on the card? But I will tell you the story that the cards bring up. So first card up is pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. You know, this can be a case, I always say this is the sweep things under the carpet card. Things are bugging us within the relationship zone of our lives, and we kind of just shelving them at the moment. It's not surprising. Life is interesting. And this is just saying perhaps it's time to consider those things that one does sweep under the carpet. What is that about? What are they? This card can also often come up if a spouse or a partner is behaving in a different manner. There sometimes are little red flags to say, pay attention to me, something is not right here, maybe we need to have a conversation. Maybe it's a little cry for attention and you know, I'm not doing it correctly, but ask me anyway what's going on, okay? It can often have that kind of message to it. And those of you that look for somebody and get into, with somebody new, I'll always say, the red flags card is not saying ditch this person, they're bad, but if you see things about them and you go, oh, you know what, later on that'll change, they'll adore me and they won't do it anymore, or they'll outgrow it, pay attention to that when you tell yourself that, because it's not going to be the case. Whatever it is, that red flag about them, it's going to be sticking around. If you want to stick around with them and you want a good relationship with them, you've got to be honest about what it is. Can you cope with it? Can you? Okay, that's the question. That's why I say that's not a get rid of person kind of card, but it is, can you cope with it? Are you able to cope with it? And half the cards just jumped out of here. So I'm going to fetch them because I always want to know what it says, because I've been discussing that with you now. Okay, so it's 2 cards. Right, so we're going to read them because they did an almighty jump. Sorry, I'm hopping around in front of the camera. Yeah, very unprofessional. Okay, so it's divine timing. And it's career, okay? So I would say for most of you guys at the moment, this has been something that is forefront in your lives, either pursuing a career or your partner is pursuing a career. And it's kind of taken the focus off relationships. But what comes up in August is divine timing, something you've been possibly worth waiting, that you've been waiting for, and it's worth waiting for, and it crops up in August. This card is kind of saying, pay attention. You may be very focused on making a life for yourself at the moment, your finances and career, or your partner is, or your prospective partner is. But don't let that distract you from some kind of moment coming up for you in August, okay? Some kind of moment that I'll always say with this card, it's a turnkey moment. It's a moment where you go through the turnstile and you go in a different direction. And you need to be present and notice it for what it is. But most of you have been waiting for this moment, whatever that may be. It's interesting this card comes up in this spread, because I would say there's something you're going to ignore. Don't ignore it, okay? It's going to be different for each of you depending on your life story. Don't ignore it. But ultimately, there's a special moment coming up. Just don't ignore whatever that is. And don't be so distracted by life's financial side, material side, survival, which obviously takes up our time and our effort. It's the time we live in. But it might make you miss, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be bigger than that. But it's maybe that you've been so focused on the other area of your life that this relationship side of life has taken a bit of a back seat. But there's something coming up in August that's going to really alert you to the relationship side of your life again. Right, I do hope that you enjoyed that reading. I'll just repeat once again, if you'd like a personal or private reading, and I do an amazing soulmate reading, you can contact me via my website. I'll put the link in the description box below. And if you'd like to make that soft cloth designer doll, it's great fun. They are awesome. I must actually get the one to show you so you can see what it looks like. But you can see what it looks like there on the link that I'm going to be putting below. I want to thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. The comments I love, I read all of them. I respond to every single one within time. And I'm wishing you a wonderful August, sending you hugs and blessings for August. And we'll speak again soon.